be in academia, be in industry, we want to have, people paying attention to details. In fact, those are the ones that distinguish the good ones from the normal ones.
Thank you. Now, there is one question that I would like to pose from the faculty side to all the technologists and industry folks here. There are a lot of focus right now for students to go into the bachelor's program, enter the employment scenario to the masters. So IISc and the Department of EC came up with this online degree to offer an MTech program. BITS has always had it for quite some time. Other institutes have had it quite some time. Is this model likely to stay? And if it needs to stay, what are the steps that the academia have to take to ensure that there is a long-term engagement with the industry, not only the large corporates, the small corporates, and anybody? What can be the engagement model that the faculty members or the institute can look forward to and have it sustainable? Pritam, okay, let me tell you why Pritam. Okay, Pritam represents TI, and TI has had quite some long relationship with IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, BITS as their sponsored candidate programs, and has recently started the sponsoring or supporting the anchor at the IISc. So that's why I'm this specifically put out to you.
Sure, thank you. Let me. It is a pretty interesting question, actually. See, there are two aspects to any education program. This one is the core competency, and the other aspect is the specialization or the expertise that you're trying to derive out of the coursework that you're trying to do. And when it comes to an industry-oriented program, like, or if a master's program that is tailored for an industry or an employee in an industry with a few years of experience, there are two pieces that both these pieces have to be taken into account here. Now, the reason why it is specific is like when I look at, let's take example of TI. The employees who have actually preferred to go and do their master's program were either of the kind who wanted to enhance their educational capability by picking up a specialization because they didn't really feel strong enough in the domains that they were working on. So we've had students who have joined masters in IIT Madras with IC design focus, and we've had students who have come and joined ECE and DESE to gain expertise in communication signal program processing or VLSI programs. And the reason that happened is because I think industry, when students join and they actually see a difference in the ramp rate of a master's student who has had some kind of a background expertise in the program that it is associated with, and a bachelor's program, the bachelor's program student is generally tending to gain that kind of an expertise because the depth of the understanding of any subject is not easily available in an industry. And that is why we've encouraged students who have shown interest in analytical capabilities or trying to go deeper into a problem statement to go acquire additional skills. Well, with that said, of course, industry also has a side and an innate, deep-rooted hope that the attrition that happens for master students is also lower. I think both these things couple and they actually go hand in hand. But if a program like, if you look at a BITS Pilani master's program, I think the master's program, when it started off in, I think 97 or 98, specific as an MS program for graduates or like, even not even graduate, like more like a diploma graduates, the diploma program students, the program was not tailored around it. Over years, BITS Pilani was smart enough to tailor the program to orient them towards semiconductor specific engineers or like, diploma students who have joined industry program and now want to go to a master's program and to gain the expertise of semiconductor development, IC design, and so on, so they can excel in their domain. That is how the program tailored itself. which means even the way I look at the current master's program in IISc, I'm hoping that over the years, the industry and academia collaboration will eventually tailor the program in such a way that the core remains what it is, but there is sufficient amount of variability in the specialization that students can pick so that they can actually come out of the university, go back to the institute, the organization, and then actually contribute to it. I think that gap is where it fails. And I've seen like IIT Kharagpur starting master's program online a few years back and dropping again because it never took off. IIT Madras started MS program for master's program, but didn't really succeed because the orientation is not really necessary for industry students. It's a just research program. That is not really what we really are looking for. I think that the ability to be open to change the curriculum in such a way that not only are we adding the right curriculum that runs with the state of art, second, have the capability of enhancing the specialization of a student who's joining the course would probably be the key things that will ensure that the program runs in a sustained way for a long time.
Thank you, Preetham. It's a very deep answer and a lot of perspectives to take away. I think all the faculty members who are listening in have either already had this view from you as an IAB member or will probably get it now. My next question is kind of towards
Dr. Javed, just one thing.
Javed, let me add a comment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So what I wanted to say was, I think the master's program is great, right? But I think what will also help is smaller certification programs from reputed institutes like IISc, right? Because some of them might not be able to dedicate like the complete time for a master's. So short certificate programs, which might eventually lead to a master's, will also be very helpful. So if there is some particular skill I'm looking for, I know I can get it from Coursera or different things like that. But if it's offered in IISc, for example, I think that would be like something that would really benefit the people who are working as well. That's just one thing I wanted to add.
Yeah, I can add a comment there. I mean, starting from the last year, certainly the Center of Continuing Education has been running programs, but more than that, the last year and a half, we have also partnered with external agencies like, for example, Talent Sprint and IISc have entered a partnership through which we offer short-term courses. So I myself have been giving lectures as part of the digital health and imaging program through the artificial intelligence and deep learning program, and there is also another program for data science that is offered by the Center of Data Science in IISc along with partnership with Talent Sprint. So certainly these short 3 to 6 month courses, weekend-oriented courses for industry professionals has been gaining a lot of traction, and we have been getting students, quite a number of them in these programs.
Awesome, thank you.
Javed, you're muted.
Yes. Follow-on question I have to Dhananjay, but I want to add another element into this question, saying, how open is institute to give them, masters can be a 2-year program. It is, you can still give them a sabbatical per se after they serve a certain years of service in a particular company. But how open is it for a PhD?
Oh, okay. You're asking from a company perspective.
Company perspective, yeah.
Yeah, I think you mean doing part-time PhD while working with the company, correct?
That is true.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure full-time is not possible. The company might not like it, but yeah, part-time is what I was referring to.
I think people have taken a leave of absence and they've gotten back also. So, but yeah, I think question. I understand the question. So yeah, like what I have seen is definitely to support an aspirational angle here. I think Preetham touched upon it. When you have a large number of engineers within the organization who want to upskill, right? That's communications guys wanted to learn VLSI guys wanted to do communications. Not everyone is thinking of doing a PhD, right? When they're upskilling, they are actually thinking, I'll make a 2-year commitment, and I'll get significantly more insight into these problems that I'm working on, right? The number of engineers that we have seen who want to go and take the next step after that and do a PhD is much smaller, right? From a company standpoint, I think there's definite support for that, right? Because there are, and again, it depends upon which group you are in, of course, right? I mean, not every group may need engineers with PhDs, but they will all support. Okay, the numbers though are much smaller. I think that's definitely, I think, my observation. If you're asking about do the companies support that? Definitely, I think most companies have advanced research labs now, right, that are working on state-of-the-art, cutting-edge stuff. Either they're more than happy to have our engineers continuously upskill, maybe do a joint research effort, joint PhD with ISC, for example. But it has to be something that the engineer wants, right? And generally speaking, we have seen definitely less number of people wanting to do a PhD, a lot more people wanting to do masters.
Thank you, Dhananjay. And
Javed, if I can add
Yes,
to it, I
please.
think there is
Yeah.
I think I agree with what Dhananjay just pointed out. But I think there is this soft messaging that goes with with every industry. I think the system exists for encouraging every employee to upscale themselves to a master's program, or even encourage them to go get a PhD program. I think that is absolutely there, and I think every industry even articulates it very openly in every forum. But I think it is the system that goes around it, right? Like, the basic soft messaging that you get. A PhD program, in my understanding, is like 8 hours of job and 8 hours of PhD program. That is your only way you are actually getting a good research work done. If you really are as committed to your PhD program as your job is, I think the challenge is the fact that you will fall behind in your organization, because you will not be able to cope up with the expectations of your role in the company. I think that kind of clarity and that kind of support is more soft. I think most students don't necessarily, or most employees don't necessarily see that kind of a soft support in the organization, saying, well, you are upscaling yourself, you have my support. I understand you're not going to be 100% committed, or you'll not be able to deliver as the way you were delivering earlier, and we will work with you. I think that kind of a soft messaging is something that still needs to evolve, at least in the structure that I see here in India. I think it is, at least with my little experience, like TI India versus TI Dallas, or like TI other sites. I think it is more natural for industry, university